eka adwaye cha na che se wo ye ne hu yi anti se hye won ma na che ne ye hu yi eti abusafo a ne madwene me e wo TikTok ni nyina no ye ma mu nyina akwaba TikTok people ye ma mu nyina akwaba afi the family no ye nyina ba beka ho because traditional media no ewo ho na social media no so aba the social media no ebusa no do so bebre nkwabata bebre ho no mo woti akọ live ewo X ewo TikTok ne YouTube ni ba bi bebre enti no TikTok for na mo so no ya ba mu fi sinkofo ewo mindset akese pa ewo kuro friend TikTok nti yes ya be person ngu bi kakra bi ho no ma ye boy sese ho nti pacho comment no ye ba na mama ho ati decent very very decent one so they can have a very nice conversation. Once again, we'll be akwaba. Na and then come on, Babedino. Enra General Secretary issue statement. A be babonte say the committees be abba. Na I did the endorsement pa committees no so endorsement. It's any bedi eho enkomo mekuta constitution of the new patriotic party as amended on the call University of Ghana na somewhere last year I think July and the constitutional amendments no into no can making kind article 10 baby a national organization no say party yeah groups committees no and the constitution article 10 it be best the whole 6 year na NDC for sambeka ya ebrana Omampenyi that John Ejekunkufu ewo ho as president no NDC for DAB almost afraid setting the record straight led by the liar celebrated propagandist Fifi Kwete and the one the NDC for general secretary to be setting the record straight na entra omutwa gumpe before so o my Ghana mu no na nya secretary to the extent say President Mills be president the prof be president you call or naming the ministers na Fifi Kwete ekogina parliament e converting said na nimusi gu ase because of setting the record street na eye entro ene propaganda nkwa omo edebaye no vetting in fact just na waye mobo enei NDC wa ban mu enei NDC wa ban mu enna President Mahama etwa 78 million Ghana cedis edema Felix Kwacho Fusu say won fa nya media adwuma publicity and media adwuma won di chase kani bi mankofo won first kani bi so ntone ma no fa nya adwuma 78 million Ghana cedis and ye diama Felix Kwacho Fusu be 4 days ni ye wo hol mo a ye betia ni say Godwin Akogan say enya Gordon what the Godwin na me the Gordon only a Godwin me the Gordon GORDON one then GODWIN so there's a difference and a Godwin Akogan abeka na bonta press conference say so most about be setting the record straight me who be that party wa ban mu ya president Mahama etwa 78 million apake de gu Ghana must go back with the Felix Kwacho Fusu say o fa nko ye adwuma and then na aba all of a sudden no afede Akogan as deputy communication officer of the NDC no one also chase about to say setting the record straight you buya say dey no dey be ya we say yeah MPP for yetimi ka say bi enya no kure eti no Akogan no eba be ka ensem no kure and I'm okay no problem so who's a Ghana ni who interest who NDC ni so what happened to the 78 million Ghana cedis na dey ma Felix Kwacho Fusu no we try for adwuma na Wafeli Skanasa and it means say a reinforcement it is a cheska for the ama started the record straight no ye be abai be cheska the ama won but won kan kire yin it 78 dey bia anso it o max akofa started the record straight na abai diska pudu the ama won say reinforcement afa no me twantro na you see starting the record straight no records be na wo ba be set the street mon kan kire yin one district, one factory. Mobile Muse Mochum. Setting the record street. More I can't say. Records when I'm by setting the street. Send that anyone. Agenda 111. President Mahama say, one would do when you see car, when you are buying car, what if I buy car one see the crop and push him. Sala President Mahama Aka. The one can say, private institutions, you know, say an individual as a yawa corner self percent will best support to agenda 111 hospitals ani yesi na wo betumi na baba bedin ko no on de we ni one city kura sa person ma ma ka che so this record are you going to set straight record better am set it straight o ka say mo ba a friend is saying 24-hour economy 24-hour economy mo ba want to be find my it record mo ko set it straight say are you going to tell us there is a certain phantom 24-hour economy somewhere yeah you so you're going to say the record straight say it is in the air, it's a mirage. Where is the 24-hour economy? Where is it? It is setting the record straight to be in one man. A bit my satisfied record straight to say there's a 24-hour economy being implemented now. Where is the 24-hour economy? And when I may share some media video be, I feel quite was say omuba beye meter or say our home meter be or modeba or can wait 2024 just before elections. Meter be or modeba and say on be calibrating in such a way say and you may we use meter and you may yanto kese. It would the war factory na war shop na we use some meter and you may say either 1 hour biano ebia for banopa is 6 to 8 1 hour bia ebeto 10 cedis some meter na mo ebeye recalibration no enwumre no 1 hour bia this is beto 10 cedis no ebeto be 6 cedis. Where is that meter? Some meter na way. There's no record to be set straight. Records are yes set records be straight ma mo ka che mo say ma faili enye ma mo ka so mbe no ma anye. Yes. Enye ma mo ka so mbe no ma anye set the record straight be the hot mo a ebe set bibi straight. So far Bank of Ghana for Trantro am ya chi wo mo. I'm afraid here, or my jet to say, a kind of my bono must say 15 billion. Afraid of my jet to say 44 billion. Afraid of my jet to. Afraid of my jet to. It is setting the record straight, and the more number setting more record straight to say, I am Bank of Ghana will transfer it more setting the streets. Young people for you transfer, you're not true 40 cent DC4. It's setting the record straight in the Makwaba. But a name now is more setting straight in the Mayan, it is a clear admission say Felix Quattrofosu is a failure. Yeah, the Mayan, Sana say, ya Tom 78 million Ghana cities, the amount of Quabrane say, on fashion media, introduce Canton Kofoka Krana, on for business projects near the day. Say the sanity. As for ye and Tam setting the record straight, a light now you're doing. Record ben a set in the street abramide esumu na fanembo over that set records in the street. Anyway once again yebema makwaba na enura na meka se enura no General Secretary issue statement eba abontin na me share constitution ekutame na baby was say national organization article 10 was said there shall be a national organization of the party which shall consist of the National Delegates Conference, National Congress, National Council, National Executive Committee, and the National Steering Committee. And baby about National Biennial Delegates Conference. The National Council. Right. So yes, National Biennial Delegates Conference, National Council. Ufi National Council now Ufi National Council and now okay National Council that's the third and about 4 was say your finance committee. The finance committee shall consist of the national treasurer and 10 other members who including the chairperson shall be appointed by National Council on the recommendation of the National Executive Committee. Then there will be your Constitutional and Legal Committee. The Constitutional and Legal Committee shall consist of a chairperson who shall be an eminent lawyer and 6 other members, all of whom shall be appointed by the National Council. the Banya about the research committee. The research committee shall consist of a chairperson and such other persons as the National Council may appoint. Then National Disciplinary Committee. The National Disciplinary Committee shall have the composition, functions, and jurisdiction set down in Article 4 of this Constitution. Then Vetting Committee shall examine and vet the candidature of every aspirant for the presidential nomination of the party to ensure that such person qualifies to contest for the office of the President of the Republic. Then, Electoral Affairs Committee shall consist of a chairperson and such other persons as the National Council may appoint. Communications Committee. The Communications Committee shall consist of a chairperson and such other persons as the National Council may appoint. Political Strategy and Policy Committee. Yes, the same thing. National Council may appoint. Security and Intelligence Committee. Then National Executive Committee. From there. National Executive Committee shall consist of National Chairperson, former Presidents, and a Traswa, the National Chairperson. Intinosa entity. Begin say General Secretary, Ejina, Saltumi, so Article 10, no, and now, Omode eti committees na abano. Na, what taking common Wukumuna? Bimu say Adena, when I attend. This current executive, you headed by Chairman Buti as acting chairman. General Secretary as Eka Homu in a year. Omo term no a best pie. Nyami adma September national elections in Libya. Now omo term no expire. Ebimbu say omo term no expire. Sa committees here omati will it expire with the same with their term and say ebimbu say best pie with omo term no dia any aday na Oman train ama September yanto abananwi na new executive no eba no mababe te sa committees nyina bebre different schools of thought ewo ho a ye di ho nkomo but I'm sure say be ni nyina so legal ebi mu chese wo mo so wo mo current executive no constitution an kata mo kwa say multi committees it is so far as say current executives no eda so ye adwuma na o mo term of office no enso ye no o mbetimi amasa appointment no aba eti no ewo ho no mo aka mehwese menya na nabi ya na se general secretary ne edi ehun ko woni ahwe mo functions no o mu romba be play bi mu wabontin na wedi nim committee of nipa be 200 as said here MPP nipa 1 people ebo 10 million eti no nipa bo 10 million na se enya asem kwa na aba na parliament ewo 87 na ka te point it nipa be 150 what I say our parliament it we no die udini mu a to manembra form committee asem committees ni atete a omo be committees akoye adwuma ye wiwe ya mijis afekwa de babeti manifesto committee ababeti wia campaign team na aba we da no sanete even though ebi akobeko communication committee, health committee, way committee, finance committee and chese afedie womona bibie no na be kasa ama party no ana adodo bia ye bia obetimi aye eti no de mamo mane enhamo ewo sa enema we so eti no minya omo a ye bedi nkomo ne age clarification no ade na this time enna omode sa adiwi ebaye will it expire with their term and say if you quite say na membership no on some of the committees no by the position position na wo no enna ema wo ye member of a certain committee enti ano ya ebi be free so no so move every mu to by September na it is a new persons na ba kwosimu ebi mu so kwa chese o se party wo hodie enye obi ani obi na jealous it is said there's going to be there's going to be a new national chairman for the party. There's going to be a new youth organizer, a new women's organizer, a new national organizer, a new treasurer. Eti party no leadership no virtually 95% the ebeye new. Eti no adan yan chairman new ones na ama. So that we can also have their input before we set up these committees. exactly I say virtually no as you set superstructure no e wo ho eti wo da wo ba national chairman wo ba committees ni ya set dada eti wo de beka ho general secretary wo ba committees ya set dada beka ho communications director ya set dada beka ho national organizer minim how to sit down well with everybody there but e be di e ho komo ene nyame adom one of the most elegant lawyers in town, elegant, and then a very humble person, very modest, elegant and modest, and an affable person. Lawyer Charles Usu Juana, one of the chairman, Friends of Baumia 08, Friends of Baumia 08, and then Obabe Cancer. Lawyer, you're watching Makwaba. Yeah, what time the moon is over in your room. That's one time. Me beto krawa ha me be na ka na pakisi no yemawu just am so man late there but me be na ya dabi discipline mu dodo be say god be ka chem say na lawyer me na lawyer we mu ti say menia we mu de wo ho na nsem bebiri na ekoso bi ya na de wo kai me hu say menia Grofoni being shy, maybe a free but any in some summer, na ACC and son you be do, baby, you be do ye. Now, a very potent our grounds in terms of Omo Edo party, no, Omo person who party, any yeko, and in some open papa and more party. A feed on all angles. It is a day okay. Maybe no yard, says Sanka Motrain. Na new executives in the bar, then they will be part of the forming of the committees. Yes, say what time, Kaka. As I say, I say, what's a trap a mobi? Yes. What I say, what's a trap a mobi? In terms of okay, I just say committees in the committees in the background. The new administration in the background, we shall be able to use the committees to control them. Let's just say you intend to tie their hands behind their back because committees near certain so they have a part to play in the administration and the forward moving of the party. It may feel something they know says I don't see any explanation the man bet me you do our position now was say our contend there because you said a party here. You said the Grofom could do some positions now, and your mom to me. Okay, Council Party, what I say, Finance Committee was saying the National Treasurer shall be the Secretary to the Finance Committee. Okay, it shall be the duty of the Finance Committee to raise funds necessary to finance the operations of the party in conformity with applicable laws. Any other. Now, there's going to be a new treasurer. It's a committee. I'm a new treasurer and secretary of that committee. Yeah, we will never share affairs of that, for the next 4 years. Treasurer need input because there's going to be a new treasurer. Treasurer need input for the next 4 years. Do you think it is that fair now? The workability that may come once. Yes, because maybe I look at the SIDA and the constituency and the BTM SC. You say some committees set up. People hold their positions. So they because I'm more interested in their positions than a Juma at the back. So what did they make? So we get some committees in we and national finance committee as a national treasurer and the back. That's what the secretary of this committee. The question is, are they going to work in amity? Yes. I want a question. Precisely. Because he must have an input at some point. So that okay, you national treasurer. It is a set up a committee. And if only appoint him as a committee member, he must have an input. Because fundraising, yes, and no more democracy. Yeah. And to a low national treasurer, no, he said, well, Babano, well, Baye. Can be trouble, but what I did I make a cravat. It will not extricate you from being. It will not extricate you. You see, say finance treasurer no a campaign. We share delegates. I can say MPP me ba the million say the baby to minister kakra. it is expected say be only people maybe wa adwin bi o ma adwendwen ti oba asika committee no don be ka ho o be ben so that's the past structure yes
that
it will not pen oba betina so
only input
and now oba back bono now o ma ye meetings o ma ye meetings e be 4 times for the next 4 months no on be meetings ajele before he comes
draw agenda crowd
o call my agenda e be mo execute ni maybe if you go and join in the middle how do you function properly council
is putting the dog
the cart before the horse Peter akwaba
yeah
ohoye program munti ne de ba 7 o'clock mo die ye late say dia measurement me down adai lawyer be do by I think 6:30 na lawyer wa
no say lawyers ne there omo court nti ya na go omo
court be any
court ni
me go jani ko she court achibia
oye kwa ye fere ko
why late as me sorry if you have been say lawyer for them dom court
me chia lawyer for
yo
now maybe I me say who can be about MPP
the formation of committees and treasury and incense but me who's okra constitution but the minimum say committee no national council and the forming what you say now if national council and our forming at it means say this time no there's a current treasurer. What you say? No what national council meeting nase.
Yes.
Now the national council meet na call so na national treasurer no wo no. I form committee no ye member no. So obey medjuma ana meboa.
Yes.
So the committee no we kra o ka ho. That's the co-chair kra o so.
Okay.
Omo obey medjuma. Okay. If we find so ochina yakoto aba ye new executives aba ya new treasurer me bompa say nya adam for Alfred Thompson.
Yes, Thompson.
Nti so ko ba say Alfred Thompson of course there will be a formation of national council. So at that national council meeting all what Alfred Thompson will do or the national council, I'm sure they will review this committee and possibly the new national treasurer will join. Now the catch is that Sekobase, the new national treasurer or ideas be or whatever they are say or be near because yet music I say because say new executives in the party should be a standstill. The party will have to work. Yes, it functions. They function within friction. What you say? They function within friction. And once there is an impending election,
yes,
for somebody who is going to be the secretary or a leader of that particular unit, don't you think that for the purpose of again with the history and how we know things work in this our party today, which you cannot look at, it was wise for them to wait because they fact no say they will no but say no committees there one so what that mebua and committees they are going to get to a certain point presumably new personalities or the committee for being for normal and what is the rush because then you said there's going to be a vacuum.
Yes,
there wouldn't be a vacuum here
at any point in time. Yes. Yeah, so the same argument after the election.
Vacuum via it's a human normal yen. It's a day now the new new guy in the bar. No, so said a neck and a year for now. It's okay, guy. If you have proposals for brand well, how do you intend to run your office and then the rest of it? Yeah, incorporating. Me who say the new people near here or between papa juma. And it is a function.
Okay. Peter, say na ye wo no. No fact me.
Finance committee.
Article 10. Ne pato say on National Council.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Do you have finance committee?
Yes.
We have finance committee.
Yes.
Before annual election.
Yes.
You have constitutional legal committee.
Yes.
You have research committee.
Yes.
You have national disciplinary committee.
Yes.
You have vetting committee.
Yes.
And you have electoral affairs committee.
Yes.
You have communications committee.
Yes.
Political strategy and policy committee. It's secret intelligence. And you okay. It's in a Casemini hole.
Now, Mr. Say, National Council may function at any point in time. They can decide they are reviewing membership any day, anytime, depending on. Of course, they are given 4 years to run. But Obakaya. Oh, but the National Council, the same constitutional, the National Council may review. The permission. Oh, Tobo, I'm saying, sir. I'm saying, sir. The National Council, I form a committee.
Yes.
Say, Omunkoye ABCD.
Yes.
Continue of 4 years. As and when the National Council have the power to review committee. Remember, say you are 4 years. Yes, question is saying committees in they've been in place for almost 4 years. Yes. Because because it's the next month or so. But the same National Council and the MOE say September. Yes. And their question is say so when you best by September. And then you might by September. Now the committee they will be dissolved. Yes. They are still in existence. Now that there's a new going forward, the old stand dissolved. But then people make a team person say as if the committees they were not in existence. They were in existence and they were within their mandate. What you say? Before September the Ben national elections. Committees are yet to say. What will be the input of the new national chairman? What will be the input of the new general secretary? Because on the banner committee, so doesn't mean say you know so national council meeting now. Yes, review membership No, it is up to the new executives, through steering committee and it will maybe apply to national executive committee in the national council. Say, look, Yaba, they say the old, for example, the old ABR national treasurer, maybe the new we want maybe the new treasurer to fit in the position. That would be a proposal. That would be it can be possible. And it's not a matter of possible. It's a must. Constitution say yes, but beyond positional representation on these committees. Yes, membership I see the input of national chairman. Is it a revised constitution? Only say and I only say at the national council meeting there were some constitutional provisions they considered. So we are even because you explain more about this and you have access to the general secretary. I'm sure because there were other matters on discussion of national councillor and releasing. So for all you know, here at the meeting, some of these issues are raising now were raised because I know for a fact there were other constitutional provisions on the discussion of national council about the vice chairpersons positions. I would do that before we start questions. I see. Oh yeah. Amplifying all those concerns. I would do. Will be a lawyer. Who now the casta and Fabufu. I will say we take you with time. Would the before banning said the before shower. I know, and the internet will be one. Yeah, I'm why I be a part. Then one will be as a day. Yapuni Susa. Only the lawyer. You, Sana Oche.
Maybe I'm a body a bit. The description now the bow, and you're now you. Manager. We say I'm not hey, we say I'm not Mato. Okay. And not to buy some no munya. That's a Musa was in beer. And ran. The Bebato. Profit match out at the same. I don't mean I'll go on. But look, I'm the ball house in my corner because I said, you know, oh, I'm Mr. in this man in Casa. Okay, it's the and run a general secretary and this is a babon thing. Yes. And then the public it was committees in a babon thing. And the Muslim within this race, meeting is like I said, no put here. It MPP, the pie, more than the Pubian building the Basso, 10 years from Medini. Who put in his eyes? And now, a consensus usually reason say, I'm not September. Yes. And you got Twaba, a new chairman, new general secretary, new Biaba. Yes. Now, September, the trouble, question you the same. Committees when you tear standing committees, you have more term of 4 years. Yes. And it's out, we are activities, you know. 1 4 years and I say their term was expired with the expiration of the existing national executive and the disability say the national chairman beba we are the national chairman from eba new national organizer ebeba new this new input and what the formation of Adebi mono and what here. Okay. Now me say the entire no first of all there be first of all, committees, membership of committees, members are not elected positions in that committee. They are appointed into the committee. And therefore, at any material moment, if there's anything, you can't even be removed from the committee and put in another person. And secondly, hold on, what's the thing? Appointment. They are not by appointment, not by elected. An appointment there. What's it is not the membership is not by elective process. Yes, it is appointment, nomination, appointee. So at any material moment, even a member within the committee can be removed and somebody put in there. Okay. Based on the same constitution I can. Because if you do ABCD or they think that you are best listen to serve in a different committee than what you were previously in, they can take you out. And secondly, chairman must say election and some a new chairman, a new secretary, it is the occupant of that office, not the personality. Chairmanship, no, it is not just personality. Anami Audu, so it is the chairman. So at any material moment, no, chairman will occupy that position. What you say? Chairman will occupy that position at any material moment. Until you not say new chairman bar. New chairman takes over from the old chairman. It is a chairmanship, and it is not the personality. So it is the occupant, it is the office, and not the personality. Okay, what I mean is committees yes. What is the end game? They are supposed to start work and do what the party, the National Council mandates them to do. It's a process for election 2028. Yes, for the next 4 years. That is now. New national executives now back from September. No? Yes. They continue with the process. Why there be new executives now? Yes. Yes. With the aim, say you buy a BSA and my winning election 2028. May battle. I found Babano. Now that vehicle be off. Yeah, we say a Mazda. Ebe akompe Toyota or bana Mazda the civil. No, that is lawyer for Mercedes Benz. That is beside the point. It is let me tell you. I'm coming. No. Why there is a manifesto of every political party has a manifesto. I would. What you do as a committee is based on the manifesto of the party. And you make me as national member, may ABCD. If it is outside the constitution, the manifesto of the candidate, what do you do? I said there's no manifesto now. You see that the precisely the point. So argument now more and I don't know say who your chairman not say my campaigns and ABCD. Committee is not supposed to serve the interest of the chairman or the occupier. It's supposed to serve the interest of the party.
What about the working relationship? for the success to be attained.
You don't need to be friends to work as a team.
When you don't have a strong point, that is when you go to the letter of the law. So with this strong point, because committees yes, that's a need no mobile engineers will take care also into consideration. So okay, yet that's a free bar. How is it going to
the country? The party cannot wait in a way.
No. The party.
When I got it, have you
asked you why a question? Yeah,
General Secretary will have the opportunity.
Because you disagree with me, you are
what can you say?
Well, me myself say, me allergy, I to some extent. So, even say, your trampo, said your work and sank your trampo na, yet send after new executives in a bar. The fact that Dodo na ye new no, we can no nye e be a party adwuma be pen. What man say no more sisi anso no. Based on idea a 2024 elections, no more hunti no. Ye onkofo bebra so omo opepa e de ma party na. Omo nya suahu bi atete niema bi a ebeboa cha committee ya ti na adwuma no. Na new people na ebeba no. Ebi wo ho a ebe take time ansana Omotimi and make even proper input into the workings of the committee. It made the allergy economy, many allergy are going to that extent. Okay, so
Council, maybe I just a minute to be now.
You, see, in the part there's a need a year juma. Yes, a tea rules in the area. It is occupied by human beings. And you know, so we get decision be no one take into consideration the clashes or the adverse of human beings. So far as Obama Adena Juma, you'll go and end up in the situation where the chairman and the rest of them are not happy with the committees. International committee.
That's what they did.
They have the old matter. They have this thing to change the committees. What will be the signal to our party considering 2024? The party is coming from somewhere. We have witnessed a very, very, very bad situation in the 2024 elections. Now, normally see 2024 elections, the harmony between the persons who are going to hold these committees, it should be taken into consideration. You become a chairman. I think you want to go forward to say chairman Afoko. If you are there, so now what are we hearing? What are we seeing? A quadrant at home. And then let us be careful and let us learn from our past and not begin to think the constituencies now. Some elections here, and some it is not nice to hear. What is the party head saying? It is creating a difficult position in around regions. It is creating a very difficult position for the party in the constituencies. Now, if are going to do not independent candidates pop out from the BR. And just share from your past. And let us look at things in the right perspective for the unity and then the progress of the party. I say again, that goes last someone and the area, no, or call on, or the black letter and the interpretation of the law, rather than putting the human aspect into it and finding out how we can harness this thing for it to work properly. And you can do that as much as you want. But at the end of the day, you need the numbers. You need the people to work together.
A lawyer will be, I said the message Baba say, October. Opa me do go bukum square. Ohodi anu akosia wo. Obi say the part of October. You selected. Me ma me mie wa ade no. Me mie wa ade no. Obi the message about says.
If you are in a party,
Me ba to I would please. I would that be would if I when you tell me who na me sa. O ya had the high quality me table head. Check. Obi question that ban say. What did to me say you bet me as a subcommittee members at any time.
Yes.
But we say, can you imagine? Send you a neck number na October. Almost say almost meetings, you know. Committee members be one man. This chairperson or money is serving. And then ya we by ya. Congratulations. Actually, I say I send the premier me pay. At the Yabba. Avoid that way.
That is why initially the party members must stand that position say we can say chairman occupy that post. That chairmanship will be if you are elected chairman, say we now they occupy a position of a committee chairman. No. It is the occupant and not the personality. But see,
I want to let me explain. Then I work on.
They make can say, yeah, we say, young China election will be our chase. Say chairman, if it is a committee, you are saying that the national chairman will be a chairman of a committee, for instance. If the national chairman will be a chairman of a committee, for instance, it is a national chairman that chairs that committee. So current national chairman, like the acting chairman, chairs that committee. But if new elections are held and the new chairman comes, he takes over from the chairman now starting.
There be Yahoo America.
So what is it? Which one are you talking about?
I would tell you. But by the time I see the guys that me know Casa from. I would be too good. You know what the moment I am not of course. That is my argument. So what you argue with yourself?
It is not dealing with the issues that we are talking about.
What issues? Because I was listening.
You listen, but you didn't hear.
Okay.
The finance committees are consist of the national treasurer and 10 other members who, including the chairperson, shall be appointed by the National Council on the recommendation of the National Executive Committee.
Yes.
On the recommendation of what? National Executive Committee.
Yes.
How many former National Executive Committee? Elected members, no,
yes.
Any other members.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we are going to have a finance committee for the next 4 years. There's a new neck members of MOBA. Yeah, we input any the selection of any of the members. Question say, imagine say a banner committee chairperson. Yes, the media, maybe I will say a percentage something. Committee members do a percentage somewhere in October.
Because of my input
in October. How do you think they are going to feel? Abra and give it to my train. I'm here to because committee there's no vacuum within the party as we speak. Unless if you're time as I say there's a vacuum. There's no vacuum.
And then this current they must use work to work.
No. How do
you cassette free from an ideal situation? That's how it should be. But
this
I can also understand my point in this. Your party in practice sometimes. Even if you cry, there are some friction in one way or the other. But we should not also encourage a situation where that practice is there. Meeting way judgment. Why? And at least now there's a million change. The general secretary and the party
may have the practicality and the truth of the matter, which will affect us one way or the other.
Yes.
Is that it is a fact. To reduce that kind of thing, you feel that once the that because we don't bring input, what go for the
yes.
No more time, no, and so.
Yes.
o ti le make am from you so bi wu ana to bi tu obi na so ntimi ya adwuma say be sesa
as a member of a committee to work you say that because of this I cannot work with that person then quit no uncle you see that's an ideal situation but we should in political party organization sometimes no decide you must be disciplined you must be disciplined here argument you are making your argument and making my argument. I don't say I should be disciplined. And your friend wakasa na go vote here your abonte. You need to bring kasa bom. When I'm talking you interject. Wait, so somebody is talking. I don't have it. Because I will be to mean here. Munyabutre. Hey. The Sasma Yakin. If you have to end this if you have to end this Mbakaya. When NDC the last election before Mbulusu 2020 elections omuko form election formation of committee say and President Mahama at the time former President Mahama Suma Julius Dobra say onko a meeting no catch the then national NDC executives ni say formation of committees no twentwen so because on the national election now flag bearer who becomes the flag bearer will have an input who becomes the members of our committee.
Yeah, I remember the time.
It was Julius Debra at the time was sent to the meeting. Okwayano back and forth. Ubekaya. Argument say the party must run because flag bearer they cannot wait for the flag bearer. And allow contest no. And at the time say a chairman of the Zampofo. And went ahead no formal committee. When you say the director of election at the time is a free anchor. The working relation and war on the flag bearer election in this case President Mahama at the time now problematic because that President Mahama group meaning call for fine. He wrote to the then flag bearer of NDC President Mahama officer no pay finance because no one trust him in tea. What I say, Oman Fiscal man, Emma, the Kosia, Omukolusu, and a chair come back the next election. It became a topical member, said as the basis against Chairman for Swampofo. Say, or cast or moon chain, 9 couldn't pay, so no information, no Biafan now, Chairman for Swampofo and Penny, and it went against Chairman for Swampofo. So I can understand, baby,
it's a bad example.
Whatever it takes, no, in Yabutre, the party may have Nchechemubia, Omujina, so the yes, sir. The General Secretary, I'm sure, this week, he said, it's a statement on my issue and answer then. And for Monday, I'm sure they will speak to it. I'm saying, if I'm saying, my press conference, go ask him. And all these doubts, argument, counter, will be resolved.
Gideon, focus money. Members, no.
The example, no crowd doesn't hold. Gideon, flag bearer was part of the formation of these committees. And this instance was saying they didn't have a flag bearer.
No, but the elected executives, yes, I didn't say.
But you say flag bearer,
stakeholders. You see, your flag bearer, your party. So the flag bearer cannot work. The flag bearer will need a new national executive to work with.
They say flag bearer. Who has to work with?
Maybe one membership in the same. Maybe one a unity no, the same. And then the hand is a five is for him on one. Obey the bishop in yes, and the bishop in yes. I say. Okay, what at the end, I don't know the bear was it the NPP acting through its National Executive Committee and National Council has constituted the various standing and sector committees of the party. This decision was taken at a meeting of the National Executive Committee and National Council held on Thursday, 7th May 2026. The standing committees were constituted pursuant to Article 10(2) and the Brikayana.
Read that article. Be ready.
Makanda, proposition of standing committees. Oh, please. So, but Timon Casano. At the finance committee, Fred Owari, chairman, and Pacho Bimuka Krawai, Bimuka Krabi. Fedowari ena eye chairman, and then Charles Jamina ena ye secretary. Honorable Akosua Fremo Osel Pari member, Nanajua Dukuya member, William Opombi member, Honorable Irene Natosi Ado member, Honorable Abina Osel member, Ambassador Edward Wati member, Joseph Ampoma Bosompe member, Adelaide Ashwin a member. Enti Totwaso. I think I didn't put Dawson into no. Me just a listening na I will hold my meeting boboli nenti. Electoral affairs no the way chairperson Honorable Osebusu Aba Obiabo secretary Evans Dimako. Disciplinary committee Honorable Kosiamu Akwata chairman, Elizabeth Utuka and the secretary. Oko policy committee Honorable Kojo Ponkroma chairperson, Dr. Kosinyami Befi secretary. Organizational committee Honorable Antonia Baifa Kabu chairman, Honorable Nanabuachi Henry Nanabuachi secretary. Research committee Honorable Professor Kinsley Nyako chairman, Dr. Ernest Owusu Kumi and the secretary. Communications committee Nana Kumia chairman, Richard Ahyagba and the secretary. And then after that, we will start the committees. After that, my sector committees is also. It is sector by sector. No, finance and economy. Co-chair Dr. Muhammad Amin Adam, and the other one is Dr. Stephen Upata, also a co-chair. Sector unit committees now more co-chair. At the constituency and legal affairs. Co-chairs near Kwame Anyima do entry and Maxwell Opoku Ajiman Edro Mechiao Edro Kumasi no decent some power since the do so is people Kumasi no Obedana Bankran. Foreign policy and diaspora Samuel Abujinapo and Ambassador Dr. Emmanuel Inos and a year co-chairpersons. Food and agriculture Isaac Yaopuku and George Udru and a year co-chairpersons. Education Dr. Yawose Duchum and Dr. Prince Hamid Ama and the co-chairpersons. Health, Dr. Nana Ayiwa Free and Dr. Anthony Insia Asare and the co-chairpersons. Trade, Industry and SMEs, Michael Ochibefi and the Kosi Yanka, Yankee Aye and the co-chairpersons. And then Energy, George Kwame Abuaji and the Kojo Nsafopuku co-chairpersons. Communication, Technology and Digital Economy, Matt Nindam and Dr. Augustine Blay and the co-chairpersons. Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Fred K. Asamwa and the Barbara or Tim Jesse and the co-chairpersons. Environment and Nature, Natural Resources, Kwekwan Prechum Sapon and Engineer William Gomashi and the co-chairpersons. Housing and Urban Development, Martin J. Mesa Kwosani Samulata Chia, co-chairpersons. Water and Sanitation, Kufia Hinkwamafu, any engineer Dr. Clifford Brima, co-chairpersons. Roads, Honorable Kennedy Wasenya Kone Kobne Eje Japon, co-chairpersons. Transport, Sulemana Alasan Tampuli, any Akosipuku, co-chairpersons. Security, Intelligence and Defense, Dr. Brian Champon, any Reverend John Intifojo, co-chairpersons. Local Government and Decentralization, Francis Asansobuachi, any Kosi Amiacheme, co-chairpersons. Gender Social Protection, Adelaide Team, any Dr. Susanna Alu, co-chairpersons. Youth Development Vesa de Koasifwa, any Sami Awuku, co-chairpersons. Sports, Salam Ama Apienima Damata, any Koju Bajiman, co-chairpersons. Employment and Jobs, Melvis in Casa Board, Honorable Kennedy Wahine Ejapon, co-chairpersons. Religious and Chieftaincy Committee, Christian category, Honorable Reverend Intim Fojo and Samson Kwekubuafu, co-chairperson, and then Muslim category, so Honorable Ben Abdullah Banda and Hajia Muhammad Rukia and the co-chairpersons, intino signed by Justin Kudiafren Paul, intino see ena eti hono yedi eno ebegu. Pastor Medasin, week no so no besebe yawa Tuesday ho baby, either Tuesday or Wednesday, and a picture better abonte say Dr. Mahmoud Bamia akọ Tarzan ho Charles Rekubube. Before then also now Dr. Nyahu Tamaklo so picture abonte ye be kai Dr. Bamia wini promise na okọ finance mogu yi friend say campaign okọ campaign ho no mo eche hu say picture bi so abana Dr. She's in front into the bush, very simple. Dr. Atakobina Kennedy, one also called Dr. Mahmoud Bamia. First is big call, Yahuse, or a friend say, Paula Foku, alcohol, that picture knows now, Kojumpi, former chief of staff, and then Penifubika, Muna Ako. how do you see the echoes we say woman for the past 10 years woman can say papa bi amfa MPP ho ebi musu ti say bi ko pin me do mo ye ka ho na party ni lusu but Dr. Bawumia I reach out to woman ya wo hwe say total unity council mama enfa fi ho. How do you see say my echoes you?
We feel say a very very good and smart move by Dr. Bawumia. Maybe I tell some for say we need to unite. Unity so nye omo executives in Kwan. Omo Jumama party now disgruntled about one or two things. We a year and because the Wufu Bɛkyerɛ has been neglected and the rest of it. It's in the Dr. Bawumia outreach to Sankofu we say a very a step in the right direction. It's flag bearer no. Baby, to a frank, I'm my MPP. Waba to the neighbor, Omonasi, and the building swap and then I could come. Their hope said by that gesture, almost share a unity Dr. Bawumia, your oil. It will be cry or body cry or party in the work for. Here, Dr. Bawumia, and you should be able to absorb that. It's a good pa. The may bomb pie say. The seed in the germinate. That togetherness now a complete.
Yeah. How do?
Yes.
Who is saying?
Oh, yeah. On say, Meme Hunkophobia or more candidate in Winnie or Mokosia, no, no, say, I think there is something good happening to the party. Some people have been outside piecing in for a long time, many years, but since Dr. Bawumia Winnie, I think this new only say last one or Winnie all those people, some of them were not fully in support of him. But this time around, it appears to say I think they are ready to come on board and work with him. And I guess China, a candidate in the show, it's very good for the unity of the party. I've heard some people criticize, say, including me, say some people say it would be better to let them go. But the
what changing were you?
Because the reason why Master Magic Akani said this gesture may let them slow down. Yes. On what they are doing outside. Which chair ne pass would don't know, even if the person doesn't like you, no chair no ikakra or no ankasano obey idea public and obey who say a day. Na gesture we are candidate showing in a magnanimity ni being na I would that's we are one cast obey ni paboni. So that process now started here. So I've changed my mind. They say ananka emyema one or two people or monko. But when they are also out there, the things they say about the party sometimes, Charlie, it distracts attention. And I think it's a renewed unity be a party no more. And that process will have to continue. If it continues, I think with unity, we've all said that with unity, and people will not lose any election in Ghana. And people don't also change a party be out. But anytime there's disunity, any near be a not the problem about. And I agree, say this process must continue, and if everybody is on board, I think the party has a great future. Okay. And 2028, the echoes we did. Never be because promises be a best come every for 1 night until
okay. Obi say tread cautiously. NEC has taken a decision and you should abide by it. Oh, that you say the you think I say we won't abide by it. Say the
you have an opinion to
and you put aside the encounter but you and you are done everybody has an opinion to express public sentiments and I amplify one. Yes, how every idea more expensive crown and you more opinion. Yes,
that one there.
It is there for them to also learn other opinions of other people.
Young quite prof.
I'm sorry, me here late to grant one mama can from money can't and guess you we're late and I feel into what giddy with the 5 seconds. Mincha a Miami Abalo in Shentia K over Bijina for women organizer or MPP. And say I know they say yes everybody chop for in website and say me happy me sister kakra. But on me some dem voice be kan the lawyer I can need the minimum paying for so I can say na papa na Dr. Muhammad Baumia atun because for the first time you who say as a personalities na any or call Monchan and that's all Monso Ban in China. I am Kofokra no be expect say and young Dr. Baumiampu, nay a different MPP a presidential candidate. You not even find those people around the presidential candidate or more almost support a man. Now me Jidi say engagement in any on camera. I'm say a big cry off camera a dodona na esa jumadie kesia e da Dr. Baumod Baumiaso enam elections e be ko no 2028 ni say meto to asre party for so say enye obia so na Dr. Baumia betimi aba ona so ebu o ho bia ye be suma nkofo na aba ona so nti say koba ne say Dr. Baumia timi ama no suma obi say omra ona so a ye be say unkoye ne say ena suma na ne woman asepo na Dr. Baumia ni na me de onimo enhia fa ne say Dr. Baumia na aba say de be ono so benya mre na adwuma obeye say eye campaign any other interest groups as so o share omo no ono so benya adaje no atimi aye say adwuma ni nyina but baby a yeti sisi ane de ye hu ne de me gide ye say ade a lose bright for all of us.
Okay, so the work no say aka ho asem because Dr. Baumia no we ni baba ko
yes
enye da bia no nka betimi make personal moves
yes
about ho na obeka se be initial baby enti se Dr. Baumia ese wasoma obi ese wo mra wo ho no mu a fa ne sa se Dr. Baumia na aba wo
na aba
enna wo so kwampo no wo obi a wo se be bibi nti primacy e call so and na say bufu bi 10 years wo se da active party mu a reach out to the person you wi am Bob Abrante bi di acho ayi ba ye no alatibate no hono ujai party na worry na okoye no Abrante ba ku bi mihia no enti mihia Abrante ba ku bi ewo Westlands na msa uja for me na se meti wo ka che na abia wo ko ye die ese wo hwe na wo ye yi o de se no nam kwan no so a wo ko movement nam kwan no so sa wo fa kwa bone so nka se be ba wo ko ne die obotunsu na party na abo na sini sentimini ya mesro na wa ma back but wa anko enu jina faako na echena osafre mi e ka chense komo na da mini ndi wo kwan no we dey na say the Damascus kwan so komo ni bia ya mini ndi wo sa kwan no ho no utie na wa anko na wo ko yanko bomu no pa ya say o proposition kwa bo party and I'm going to support him.
Well, when you say obi o ho wa konto kwa wa bre o obi kwa ka chen say e twa so na ko twa so ba keke woni obi ama na ka chen say o jan sa wo ba obi to say they wo kam ye sure say sa afi no wa bre wa ka chen say jan no o say go no wa kan dia ene ma jan
etimo mi ankoso ni ye nye sa ne mane ye ni di nkomo ye baby ye tin na ye ni mo ma partner
oh yeah
it yan reach out to them. I catch up with Dr. Baumia we here will be on board. You know but to them represent Dr. Baumia Mr. Come back home. Na bush road na mudi bush can see kwanse na nsenye da popular bi
na
yeah Peter
say I had the papa but you see or see who say political party adwuma ye de ntimi nya absolute unity eye de ya ubenya ba ku mienu bi a omune maybe leadership and I nipa odi anim na enya dwen in one way or the other but you see ade ba ko pa na ekoso ye ni say omu bebre wo a maybe they had a problem with a former president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo or maybe a former president Kufuor because of the way maybe party and as a chairman be our back party them at the year so Dr. Baumia as a person they may not have a problem with him
yes
What I say? So to some extent, on reach out, no man coming back, no. I am say ni toning down, no. I easy man. Now near say okay, say party issue statement say they should forgive those Omaya and Yamonsem Kakra amnesty be issue statement say Bimukra allow Mumra Tumukra because the contest position in Adina. It is a party issue such a statement. Now flag bearer so at Abba now I take it such a year. A Brahma party in Kabum yekese. But Nina uncle Kurie say or say party so we should be very careful. Especially during contest. Kasabia yeka ni ebia unye ebimu etimi etnase bopo dwenbone anke betimi aku obi nti on form hopo na ko do sempempe so bi am fi senka de awoye no ewu ade a na se che wo na wo nipa no smo bi so mra me nchen na me mra na no mba adwuma ya na eden there are some boni bi wa wo de ye obi a ontimi mfa ncheda me kai de bia ya asema Jake kan those days about obu a said or treasure ne maame minim say awu dis on fa ne maame ni agro message bia party enyo nkwa na mezo me de maame di agro na me kan assembly cry ala no pa mu data awu dis Kansas one all the meeting me say ya nkwa boni mpagi boni
we are a political party.
Yes.
The Kwakwa say association. Exactly. NPP.
Yes.
That is the party. It is a meaning we are in Bominia. Why should I work against the party? But in the same we and why to deal with the person.
No, so or yeah, no, the good anymore.
We see we are a political party. When you're in the area, I think that we also go for the home party anymore. Because almost taking almost offense now and our heads no and you almost standing against the party is also standing against and just now standing against you we'll come for you we'll come for you because we are members of the association so I just saw a report to the Pakwan war the necessary maybe not yet dealing with the issue because you're starting you want to lead the party you're starting away your back second away, your back third away. Because they are individuals that can party is subsisting. Party is now be a minister. Party now be a chairman. Party now be a hold every position. If you go against that party because somebody did something wrong to you, the whole members of the party will come against you. Because then say, Sansan good garden.
That is a spirit.
And you know, almost obi a as well making a man from 2 so be your bono party no take it against the person because your disciplinary committee you will normally be party no deal with this. But if you try to go out there and try to lambast the party because your aim is to win elections. By doing that, now we say the aim, we PD the aim, I know the young PDO.
That is it. And to say a party amnesty, leader of the party, I reach out and let's say actually a movie. Then the party can go after them. But you see, as no be any reason here or the bonnet or the baby. Party position. Position now we went to the Benjamin now the wood position now Benjamin area. No, deal with him. No, we're with him. That's the money the money who can be the only way Mr. Holmes when I am talking when I talk about when I talk about money too. Yeah, but anybody as money out of the children. Uncle Bidin in a month. Bonnie, I didn't get the minimum. Oh, bomb. This is a fasting daily. Man, beer. No more pie, one say because of the Omukunuma, maybe no bomb pie as a party in competition.
na alisi for 4 years kekempo keke alisi omo ho atomo pa
ombe se omo bisa be na ubebere nso wa amre
ni pasu on esno obia ni study ofa yetie yi so obi cassette ya audio eso so obefa no obi cassette ya me so na eso obia ni study ofa ne de but a party formation process we should allow
yes you need to do what them that's say we are police station you can
obi on so obi
yes police station mem ogboda o ye beka so ye be chu
obi on so mo obi ko bodu
and also they said it's a people should come to the understanding say party ni the na vehicle party ni kan chiro obi aso ko ni obi ate it is a human aspect no
my party now
I follow that lower you deal with it no but when koko jira wana so start all running that party no because number e kwakumenu ayi bibi akodo yere ene yi dia ya pili o
kaso
yentu mo no
there was all can no you are preaching ideal
yes
ideal situation no
liar let me tell you you come back to the I did you
the sanity of the party must be maintained. The sanity of the party must be maintained.
Correct. I agree with you.
Party don't know. Yes. No being your I didn't know. It's a personality. Party na personality.
But any panel na occupy party position.
Party ni a personality. What you say? Or indipa in some extent. It is a party in your body. I didn't know how to did that. I don't know say. So Kwaku menu na ayo body. And you go to tell Okon be never about you. What do you look at? Let your party because party indipa no be done.
Party so when you on ma you omudi sa on my steady
and I will bring nipa one na odi nenyo one na bring nipa 100 on mobile
kazo ude yeshi aha ye super highway enye do mahama expressway we super highway and some be holo be yika e was an me wo last be your committee meet start ye loose elections ni ka say ya te professor Makoko committee ni ade ye be cancel omo ye do Asante region report by
na discuss
wa ye wie ye no hol man apanimu bi sending message and was say enema bi wo hol mo so koso a ha party no but no report will ever capture that. Was it the report be in capture? But a wo and will catch them so when you say we are victim. Starting one can't starting one can't so a victim. Now what my list be and conform said that Jim for you they were party. Oh, it's what catch them sad ba no makoka che bia secretary se chairman no party prim say assume so dem be di agoboni afebu asel na obi enka hwe o say esa wozi agofo partner gofo eso no sade ni pesuti it's the best way mu kuta position na mamu abuse no yestremo mamu abuse no
me no ya diri I say me no ya diri
NDC
and a human and a boy yes I was here you know
what I yes no part of the year commercial break. I say no for the same out. Who's the NDC? Secretary. It was a major matter.
I say no Musari Stetino.
All right. I chop and no because
yes. It's your best. Munga position mo so ye. Ye ka ye beba MP beba ye first BOG and semono. But and I'm saying MPP 70 no mame answer and twaso reports be back na voice say me hwehwe e bi no mo ne nam baby and na me ye candidate me Dr. Bawumia candidate Haja Samira SM contest win ye besa kan bi mu say MPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was will be anchor contest in your own right. obi obebe bia won ni we eye adwuma your main target is to win election 2028 wa won dream contest ni say bia ya disqualify wo say bia wo ne mase ni say nti it will be anko won ka so support will be wo bi fa ni din enko ye adwuma olabo samia wuku aka mary hwe video bi ansa na be post me hu a wakana bonten say Dr. Bamia any candidate say police station dey ekoswin and say area coordinator so say constituency executive say regional say national what person will be din komo say minia say this ya for wa wudi ko enkofa Dr. Bamia din ko because Dr. Bamia enka say when we pay and when we pay or pay party we be asem we are competent the one who ya to so aba ye na fa jabu pawo what the okia two nanse na hu chen the 2023 no catch me some boa
no crepa
ba woni we fight jamu say no ye wo pie ye no why imagine more stronger it is also contest enyuti kotenafi efo bi adi enkoda dankofo cancel the master tell about ba men kwa wudi ho that was asem no
same way unity and me we dey me know what the same page it's good issue ben say issue no kan about
that be the make asankofo mo use
the way say dem on kan dey about the na ka first
waka just what should my council we meaning
oh that be
because just what to say I saw be kan ko dum say na on so be kan to target to that
me no ya agree on one thing the case ideal situation now me kan ya
okay
no he came back to party unity
it's a movement stronger than appetite
no the me no ya agree na among for you see among the me kra me say any message because obi wo ha or sorry I know I call the fear and no I can't capture picture if you want know a video no they are share they actual oh Balmia Dr. Balmia supportively Sadia no said the okay no I say Charlie or no or call competition with 4 others very hot one and all the way near so also person or national chairman call competition on your own merit na we who person or general secretary call on your own merit na we ni o pese o ye constituency chairman bia call on your own merit na ento ozaba it as part of the unity no look we have just come out of a hot presidential primary some people supported other candidates as part of unity no mayenye as a party target e binu mu say chinchina we our position we e target na yi ni fi ho let the constituency people decide who they want to be their chairman, regional constituency chairman. Let them decide who they want to be their parliamentary candidate.
Yes.
Because those people who supported other aspirants
stronger than appetite.
So that if you target the person, you take the person by force, out by force. The supporters, will be angry with the party and they may not election day. So let everybody support to other aspirants if they are MPs, let them go. Say party really say they have done a good job for the constituency. Let them win. Don't target anybody. If the party feels there for the years no more they are taking them out, bringing new parliamentary candidates. Let the people on the ground decide on their own. Let nobody target any parliamentary candidate or MP, so that at the end of the process, elected candidates those candidates will be loved and supported by all the people in the constituency. That is how we win election. If we target the people, we will bring disunity, and disunity will not help us in 2028.
Okay, there's another side to it.
Yes.
Yes. But also play victim.
Yes. And also, I agree with you.
It's your best friend.
Yes.
Dr. Bamia was not vindictive.
No.
Dr. Bamia was not vindictive. ebia wa bra bobia wo boy during primaries no oko overboard you are being haunted by your own ghost it's your best friend no you got man support rent ni ye me say ya support rent ni me say
and also
message once a mom ready ejoso constituency album na e wo ho no eye me no John Kuma album mo time mo ye sa ade no ne time anso e na ba mu be fa no koye album no ano mo de to aba eji current MP lawyer Boating epato ya hwehwe na yi unya ye sei kambi no mo koye no ya hwehwe the percentage unya ye wa nya kse pa se wo ye obi ti obi abroso enti e wo se wo ye adwuma to bring unity within the constituency. Ye called primary or support all of the Japan. A bill of constituency or support Dr. Bamia every knee ever constituency. It would say, I need a bar, first like a cow. But Ubet will be now say, oh, honorable Yibwati, a support honorable Japan, and ye in a film, and you know.
A contest.
A contest. And ya him any or more transit snapper, me did say do some better or more to a bar, one better man. And your based on the cost of porters who could be come and that's what could if I put one. Maybe. Aha. One, nice and saying.
It's a movement stronger than appetite.
When you take 394 votes. And on the second person, Obama, on your 302 votes.
Okay.
And our third person, Achima Abuaji.
Achima
Abuaji on your 229 votes.
Okay.
So you look at the difference between the first and if the two.
It's about to
394, Helena 302.
Okay.
And 229. So
it will be 3 by 92.
Yes, but even add second and third.
It is a strike here. You have to be say. Where be 35 or be 40%, 30%,
40
maybe 35,
40 something.
But coming, you see, I will say we should be serious in this party. Because as I'm working, but then I'm also doing say there are people around Dr. Bawumia almost a month for targeting.
Of course. Yes. It's a greater Accra.
I'm talking generally.
Greater Accra. Like TB war. Constituency war. A plano constituency back. But the constituency back now. Chairman no support all over the Japan. It's yes which is a young nipa. Omama contest as police station. It's a young nipa su. But also more and the papa. A bit more so. Who's a class like confirm. Naturally, yeah, of course, naturally, Doctor, DMB na the leader. People naturally so ono na bia okay. One young can you?
Remember so
flag bearer.
Class captain. Okay, flag bearer. Yeah, class yeah. And then I don't want to cry in here. And so it is possible say people will use on more, but I can tell you, say I know of people even in Obuasi, east and west almost sponsor people political party mafia to get people who favor because almost future because police executives elected executives constituency region national so the next flag bearer contest elected what I say so they're also looking at that and they're also looking at getting favorable MPs in parliament who support them during their content. Who say so when you have more MPs to do it here, and do. What do I say? So we shouldn't kid ourselves. Say it is as if say Dr. Ne, Madam Samira and Kwana Edina Yaman for you. People because only leadership position, but they are resourceful, very resourceful. And they are doing a lot of mafia on the ground. And to say, if you are a politician, you won't sit idle. So I will be surprised that Dr. Krabbe sits idle. But just that it must be done in a way. Because so Dr. Zotna, no one gets involved. And obviously, okay. Now we're seeing now empty.
Mati, Fairly say. Prof.
Yeah, can you know, I'm passing. Sa reconciliation agenda any party reorganization as I say yeshimukina na another angle amede ba ne say obi ho no de party ni ono no obeja am party nsensem na to baby nke bia ofa business community a na wakote hatred from business community no against obi anase the presidential candidate ono no ma the party structures and political arena ho no it is academia mo de mo ne nam hana mo nya mo reorganization no party nim it me so me gada academia for na me ma ebi a Dr. Baumia ho ayo mo hi the more minister angena me de ba no se mo te ase so it ade a ye ni nyina no me nyaaya anka ye beti bibi te say president Kofo National Reconciliation Committee ni bi wo party mo adwuma de no ebekwa akosi ebra ebeto aba 2028 na wie ene da bia ba ya no mo solve because we no ne prevention no na de nkire say untimi ni nipa nyina ankasa o mbeti ase say efiri na economy nkoka obi kam ya me de beche no obi o ha ono ne de no de man ni only broni be say claim to fame ene say oba involve ne ho ewo saa ne manim say ye ntokwa obi koka ha no akoka ha en ye onkofo so ono te hodi ni di na ono te wono nya so wasada no ayedi o onkofo a eye adwumade ama no ene ye wo mo so o maye o ma adwen se me na me wosika nti eduba bi a se enyi sika mfa mo party adwuma me nhyeda nka se me ye campaign atia mo ba me hyeda me koma at the party no se de be ya mo ho ebe den ebe ye hi nti adwuma na eda ye so committee na o ma tete no so won so fi so it's a problem bi obetimi so ra entwa me me bo pa entwa ma Dr. Baumia amfrɛ entwa ma general secretary amfa udi ma committee paper bi so ansa na wakɔ akɔsolve saa issue no nti ye nyina wudi ye corners na ye wo no ye sha ye sa adwuma na de ye kekan entimi free ho kra but ebetimi aba form ama adwuma na ye ne de akɔ 2028 emu atimi aye mara ma ye kakra
me da se na panimu bia send message o ma me names but se me names den to then ye kan
am se commercial break
we dey Blue East o se obi ne na down for mu nyina wo party executive union de na wo ja for snatching back wife obo obi ama na obi enfi eye ma branch di ja party no ma okọ public radio kokutia party ni ya
mejo ayo
abo mu ye di akere me
when on me ka
yes
entry committee ya
abuse mama come do council that council here no asabe we dey try to council but you see the issue is that see but so
this will be asked na show be here
that the list kakra ye wo and verifiable you verify up confirm
say
abante ba ku bi Asante region see abante ba ku Asante region
position bi kakra
ni di wo ho
be
ya party 24 Asante region we see
o sha fa the project
o nya we ya no akanagu ono kwa de si nipa mako 9 en sabu wo ho entiano say esenkofo bebre bufuo
yo mo ya
awdu wo pu asem na
Asante region
wo data na
no bebre
wo sa data no a wo so ga sa de topical issue say discussion but wo intino council patrol yes na menya ayibi one bi from senior most edited do say program etwi enti ya wo sere ne ayamatwi no noso ayamatwi no noso editor patrol that's
Nossa, me share party the day objective. And then we aim.
Ideal situation.
Yeah, ideal. Party no, I didn't think your team NPP party. Yet the party they say we win the power. Now you advine papa we team no. Yet the aboa or my. And we think your party. And the bibia ye be hu a human aspect. A gina sa de no kwam no. I say dealing with the team. as a party also come to a certain level of understanding, say, if there are two strong people fighting on the ground, that party could be back here. Because the problem is, the party tries from within CCC, baby. It's I know there's a split. Obe say independent candidate a few baba. Or baba split your vote. And not the reality, no. But the humanities in your man, and not the ba. So I'm punishing the panel, party now punishing the panel. So why you wasting your punishing? Ebe koso sa. Your party, and conform it to be cardio. Which party no disciplinary committee no has to deal with? You're dealing with where the end deal with. How would that person officer of the same? It's in the move for that trap or send your party minimum. Yebeshia. Or no Zabia will be a one or a lot of information about the party. No starting out churning out. And then a reduce vote levels because the Grofonu will say Sana Moya dia and you either see a twaba and I a big free party move. You could join the party for from.
Matthias,
but the party also has got a part to play. I am strong enough to discipline people. I have been complaining. There's evidence. I quite in the pan 9. Put the party in your for. Yes, so Bible so confused. There's a Wukunu.
Offense project.
And I'm just a Wukunu. Yes, when the man gets the pan could do some point now. Or manifesting in anger now. Yes, it comes in a different way. What did I make of it? Mr. Mo, let us share Adiano in its importance to the party and how I said they are adversely affect the party. Yes. See, I heard this idea, and it is the humanities in the area. Wait and the Bufu and the wait and the Bufu. How does it? How does it affect the party?
Yeah, but lawyer, me tell you.
I was a party, no. Party, your party, your friend MPP, no. Executives, no discipline committee. They should get to work. It will be. It does not matter who you are. Yeah, sanction. Yeah, and this is sanction. Sanction. No, this is credit.
Origin Central.
Why you are soldiers about the bull?
Okay.
If there is punishment in the
yeah, okay. But by the grace of God, Obi answer is over the years the established political party be unsucceeding.
Yes.
Yeah. You check our history. Say who will be a way involved now soon. I mean, anybody
unsucceeding
breaking away from the mainstream. Unsucceeding. Initially, they were succeeding in maybe creating a bad image or bad name for the party.
That affected them.
Probably maybe the first or second election.
Yes. But if it is going to affect it, they may be see a minister. You be winning. They are give papa.
Okay, Mati. Yeah, that's it. Said the Wayama Hushmadiano or Panin Sakwa. And say and conform the American. No interest. And Gideon Bato, the fly be ascending. You have a firm Kakema Shadi. The fly be ascending.
Police need be. Was any message or Munimo or say, Nade, Ubi Koyako, Mayako Gosa, Nase, Afiswa, Obi Channel, I got to. Was I is Kako talk? Blasting the kind police need you because Jenny is a body choke. Okay, body choke. Get your Fatus Ramen before I move our next topic. No, minim Yabeko Biogino, Kakre Bia. Now, over weekly, Yoku for any attorney general, Aya Debia, a year against human rights. I just say. Cause a woman my Ghana say Hanan and in the year. Attorney General, a better press conference was but tell good and you must why you say in fact a cab Hanan is a draw so one can watch him. What kind of Nigeria you soon say what bracelet say what chain say was a kind of draw so pay ya one for value and so. okoko to one enka ko
so pita so kai enema o se hana ne yere wo we buo nie na me se draws to pen wanka o bi so o dim se draws bi ade boarding o ka so no bi ade go for no ayi de no e kwa mu dia do so that be me che so draws value e ko de no so be ka ho because that was the only thing oba say previous oba warefo waware wonya akwara na wo jewels and then na ye no na wo dey ka ho say wo chain say wo say ni say when you say chain be the boarding what na the ka ho and me say no you say draws any brazier e be boarding ye 5,000 10,000 akwade be ka ho eti bato Gideon nyame aduma launch na e be baso enti bia launching baso answers no ho answers ni na wo ho enti yesi e loading enti ebebaso Peter
yes
yanko bioji after the eventual o ajido fatu to be ni hwade fatu kakaka fadentos kakaka biema audu ehu na wakwa wadi ho dance
okay
launch
Marco now send me my private comment be
and then the private is not we are in public
no I won't say
so let's go and talk about it in private
yes
and to go Asare-Bediako for national comms director
yes.
And you know now party our voice our message a load NTBiano launching date ebeba Peter yanko
BOG madam fu bia wo US na or frame or say hey kodona mo man de mo nko na mehu se enya ndisi aban a anka adwuma bi boka adwuma na wa boka no nani je na mo Bank of Ghana boka na aboka no mo ni age se Bank of Ghana aboka nti emo bi a enka ho asem e ya reho but the thing say Mr. Mamema some data because Bank of Ghana so omo ye omo auditor omo de omo reports na go omo website
yeah
na okohwa in the year 2019
okay
BOG made a profit of 1.6 billion. In the year 2020 Bank of Ghana enya a profit of 1.4 billion 1.5 billion and 2021 omunya profit of 1.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Now 2022
yes in year
2019 1.6 billion profit 1.5 billion 2020 1.4 billion 2021 now 2022 something happened at Irenchem kesie eto omai which is COVID obekaya now COVID by so we share emra pon a governing Bank of Ghana na the Act 612 na as amended na e kire say atoyere nchem bi eto oman no be it yare kese bi be it a disaster bi nsuo bibi ni ade a the section 30 ni kire say Bank of Ghana timi bo besia oman ne besia man timi de ha ne ho eye nyoma kakra eboa enti 2022 the COVID started 2020 2021 nimu no ekoba say na oman no akọ hiahiem in fact na adwumayfo kora nkọ adwuma eso na etua omka in fact enya nsuo ne light nyoma bi crampo free kakra e free one so apart from say na health officials are aban no nya special project bi de boa omo e de share omo any ade e ma oman no kwa hiahiem kakra so based on the section 30 and the BOG gave loan Emma Bessia Emma Bino so on far and pay the section 30 now can sector say temporary advances to government. So Omuma a loan Emma Bino but of course who can the section 6 and they say Bessia now or the Ma Bino it should not exceed 10% of revenue afilmuni na abaini nyai. Now okay, section 30 now also we are through the finance ministry abain and notify parliament. Say business say na BOG dey e dey ama abain no so on fa hin han into the 27th May 2020, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta say parliamentary memorandum on the report of the limits of borrowing of government under subsection 6 of section 30 of the Bank of Ghana Act 202 Act 612 in the novel coronavirus COVID-19 emergency. Not the command parliament. So Finance Ministry through Ken Ofori-Atta notified Parliament just to meet up the Emrana and say BOG also Omoyeno. And then you can make say indeed they followed due process. Ekobayeno Omukoye the audit. Sanu Manimu say BOG Aboka. Na enyoma, and of course to be fair, Nanya Bank of Ghana Kwana COVID time Omuboka. In fact, the Reserve Bank of Australia Omuboka $37 billion. UK Omuboka £150 billion of England. The Swiss National Bank Omuboka in that same period 132 billion francs. The same 2022 Netherlands, US Omu central banks Eboka. Because of corona and omina situation the buy is because of yare buy was said na central bank day a finance amine. In spite of women the NDC went to town. Say omunti bida. In fact, Governor Asare-Bediako best friend Sami Jemfi only Captain Smart ye interview ti asmo kan or Bank of Ghana a car or boy and the make to say
my best friend.
Oh yes. Okay. So no now who publishing his statement social media.
Yeah.
And your best friend.
Now me intelligence on him.
Oh dear.
It doesn't mean say my best friend.
Or a younger brother.
My younger brother.
Okay. See, somebody will say, but only I say Dr. Addison and his governors will face prosecution if NDC comes to power.
For them.
Ernest Addison, I'm quoting more. Ernest Addison is jail bound. Hey, he is destined for jail because nothing can save him from what he has done. There's no way Addison will not be prosecuted. No way. It is impossible. Even if he goes to Kuwait, we, the NDC, will make sure he faces prosecution, including his governors and the board. Is he above the law? No. Is this the rule of in this rule of law, nobody is above the law, unquote. See, the more Bank of Ghana prints money for the government, the more the nation suffers. And this printing, you know what we know? Who check it? The economic, anybody can Google it. Definition of printing of money are two things. Printing of the normal cash to finance the activities of the bank, which happens all the time anyway. Yes, new currency, scanner, sometimes a chair, you're printing for shame. And there's another second definition of printing of money, which is borrowing. What they are saying. But NDC deliberately, borrowing, no, they were not saying borrowing, no, I'm saying printing of money to confuse their supporters. And Ghanaians say, I get confused, to deceive. Kwame, you are right. No more, and almost I had to share almost 120 days social contract with the people of Ghana. Say, so NDC ba Abema, till they will investigate the illegal printing of money. Promise 13. Omba making sure say Omba be illegal printing of money. You are the new. From day one, say it wasn't illegal in the printing of money because they have, through the BOG Act and Finance Ministry, they have notified the Parliament, say, yes. So, Oma trigger the emergency clause, abaji the 10% of revenue a year, no, sika from BOG to assist Abayano. Through this memoranda, I'm going to call Parliament. Yet, they were insisting, say it was illegal.
Yes.
And that Omuba, they will prosecute Addison and all the governors. The then minority leader.
Peter Bato for a document family city.
A beauty,
and this for the be mommy. I want be one mommy.
printing of money no
ewo hin
any almost 13 my science kra
the picture kind first no
yes
and I'm to make sure picture but let me say I get that clear but at least
notify
it union was say Dr. Ernest Addison and his governors will face prosecution if NDC comes to power.
Yes.
Sami Jenfi. And the picture with you. Also
jail bound.
Yes. Ernest Addison is jail bound.
Yes.
He is destined for jail because nothing can save him for what he has done. There's no way Addison will not be prosecuted. No way. It is impossible even if he goes to Kuwait. We NDC will make sure he faces prosecution as print. Right? Echo Juna BOG premises say Omuma BOG governor no 21 days to resign because governor Ama BOG Abaka. And many examples are time may not permit you to go into it. Yeah, they are and the name now if you want 2024 a council pay about 9 billion. Now and Bank of Ghana aboka omo de omo se omo kana o mabo no papa na nya bone kana bioji bo na usi covid bioji boka to make sure say obe save lives
enye papa
eno de enya de papa o covid time am for teach you mu nya teacher for nurse for ni ade wo se etu omo ka bioji boka mo bo aban ne besia ma ne tumi cater for the needs of the people. And a major problem a BIA NC that and BOG aboka. Now unim the man ya we who say unim say can say ukwa but no be so bia say ka say no boy 15 point something billion me why and that's how kai good and a minority by a press conference true upon comma so no it's not true but the good of actually say can more than what the Omo report no. Omo say, in fact, Isa and NDC MPC say, minority the Oma bon and MP before Kano correct. And then the BOG issued Q&A on their website on questions and answers on last Thursday. Now,
as in
fantastic. Now
the first question. Signed by the current government or say a car BOG boy ASA the answer Oma BOG in their report on the Maya.
Okay.
Or say the bank reported an operational loss of 15.63 billion.
Okay.
And other comprehensive income loss of 19.32 billion for 2025.
It's not any income.
Second one in your loss.
Your loss.
And then come.
Loss.
It's not one come. You're not supposed to change. You're not supposed to change. So change. So my report.
If we would need definition for loss. To the
extent that there's another 9 billion here through gold, but gold. Gold. And who cry a car about who into the Bɛkyerɛ who cry a cost to 40 something billion
44 billion
and counting.
What I say, and so unim say cleverly almost 15 billion now from 9 billion to 15 million and soon be almost stabilize the economy, which is in trouble.
Economy are stabilizing.
Well, I know okay. Oh, Kwame, me a class prefect.
So we are Masamba na kwa rapport. Eti ba me kwa wudi.
O de mami kan na bitan. Okay. Mami kan two pe na ye wawi. Hwawnim. Unim say e kwa o mu fa so ye accounting ne krampo no. O ma agye atum say o ma fa the normal accepted process now over the years. Ye dey audit or BOG. The thing say e kwa o mu fa so ye o mu die. Say ka sana BOG Addison at the year any now and can all reports that the so-called 60 billion.
Debbie.
What you say? And even the 2024
9 billion.
And the so-called 9 billion now on report to you.
Yes.
So never from because
Mabuki.
What you say? So they departed. And almost you see the new BOG somebody Omako amend the act no. I'm saying no boni omubedi. You see the current governor na
Kwanya careful
we be kakra because said the otimi kwa amend the act no to allow BOG room to play on the decks no. It's strange. And indeed that's exactly what they've done. In fact, bank no Roma to the sense that they've requested support from this time the finance
from the finance ministry.
From the finance ministry.
Bank of Ghana.
Yes. Other way. Yes. Bank of Ghana who actually or say
read what Ukaya, I was a yes, Mamma Camedia Toto. I am part.
No, no, I since I since I'm
bank Nia, bank Nunia, liquidity or no, so I stabilize the economy. No, I no, also of Penanka. On mine watching Obama support. No, or no mum, a liquidity support. I watch through to the BOG finance minister in both. Omo statement omo ewo audit report ni mu a omo statement omo dia koma finance minister any omo Q&A ni say omo be hia support from the governor na ni man ye hu man ye
from the finance
minister thank you ni man ye awe hokura mpo ni say unim say no adwuma bia owo nika any owo ne first one answer any profit any assets this time for 1 year from bank near setting na eka ewo 61 billion 1 year per abawe BOG at the 34 billion of eka and abeka bank no that is apart from a car man boy ni BOG ni now. Uka bank ni asset ni na ni mfaso bibia boma. Na 1 year pe almost the 34 billion ena ababeka a car ni sika e wo se almost the omaja ama BOG. And it's a BOG in fact so any support from the finance minister this time a be dear man moving forward
well but your mom will show you ya munim enkutabo ni sa na mesremu mummy and back for the past 20 years has it ever happened the same Bank of Ghana atOkrata kuma finance ministry say umuhia support na me dem me kai se me hu bida mesremu mummy and
minimum
so you
with my but just to quote equity na make one from our Q&A question 5 I said the bank entered 2025 with a negative equity of 61.32 billion accumulated over the years. It has to be free power no. Not over the years back no. Omuja 61.32 billion Ghana cedis.
Over the years.
Over the years.
Since
bank the 2025 total comprehensive loss depended that the position to negative 96.28 billion at year end of 2020. Negative. In Tusha, from 61, I jumped to 96.28 billion. That is over the year 61 billion. 1 year per.
Nkoma wa mo busy amunyina nyima amunyina denyina ba nyina a champion amunyina afrifa rollins
rollins
amunyina 61 ena mahama nkwa
wa ba yi 1 year per
affairs on mahama na aka
be yes
ena 1 year per
no I jumped from 61.32 billion to 96.28 billion. 35
negative. Prof K Yanko. Seka uboki. Boki.
Briefly.
Yes.
Me, I did kind Peter Kasabebre, the Oka on point. Now, me, BOG expenditure no more, so almost penny, about $10 billion. And almost seed from Peter 14.7.
Yeah, 11 point something.
To let's even grant them say 10 point something. Look at what MPP did. Now any information be. Look at what MPP did and the MPP BOJ Minister of BOG.
Okay, Facha ayini kojo ayini. Omo press conference MPP press conference.
Yes.
It's press conference was say BOG's real loss for 2025 is 44 billion, not 15 billion.
When on be here kojo upon kuma say en tro. Now MP because say minority ni kojo upon kuma ignorant.
Is that
yes, or say upon kuma ignorant. Onim BOG figures no.
It is saying that BOG for
abedia tum say
media no be ba.
BOG no.
I confirm. Okay, Mati. How do to aso.
On say and on BOG say intermediation.
1.1
intermediation ebinu say intervention on the forest market so that the dollar no see the anho the see the no na ho de the be koso BOG omo fe no ebinu say intermediation ebinu say intervention whatever it is. In 2024 under MPP BOG injected $2 billion to intermediate or to intervene in the forest market and already that by 1 year they injected over $10 billion just to strengthen the city. We were spending $10 billion to strengthen just your city in just 1 year. And look at what it did. It brought down the city from 14.7 cities to 10.45 at the end of 2025 Namika Peter. So I'm not talking about the current interbank rate. The city appreciated by 4.2 cities. Peter, start the average. Obi injected just $2 billion a pair. The city appreciated by 1 city 70 pesos. Would intervene in $10 billion? It appreciated by 4 city 25 pesos. Peter, why should say some mean conform me anywhere? Why not manage city here? So when people obia boka CSA to bring the city just from 14.7 to 10.5.
But your side they say we should be Elvis Dako.
Yes.
And then Maka should be in West Africa. You be
me say me start it.
I started
in 2024 and the MPP. $1 billion was injected to bring the city down from 16.4 cities to the dollar as at the highest interbank rate and Akufo-Addo to 14.7 cities by end 2024.
Okay.
The difference is 2.7. Appreciation.
Okay.
Appreciated by 1.7 Ghana cities. Now let's go to just under this governor in 2025. Over $10 billion. Have been more putting a cry to $12 billion. But let's agree, say it's over.
Just say 12 billion.
Yes.
So with more kind of
yes. So was injected. It brought the city down from 14.7 to 10.45 at the end of 2025. The city appreciated by 4.25 cities. Now just say if 22 cities injected deliver 1.7.
If 2 billion.
2 billion inject deliver a 1.7 appreciation, city appreciation over 10 billion injection delivered 4.25 in 1 year, which is a better manager of the city.
It is a scandal and this MPP this shame.
This shame mono
$1
over 10 billion and this shame appreciated by 4.25 cities. Me anyway, why not? A bond Ghana for Eka.
Okay.
And on the one manage economy. Look, they spend about 16.7 billion cedis to also bring inflation from 23 to almost say 3.3 on 3.4. You look at the money spent in economies and there will be opportunity cost. I have said that if you look at the trajectory of in 2022, when inflation is 54%.
Yes.
By the end of 2024, it had moved from 54% to 23%. What is the change? 31%. And yes, in 2 years old, without injecting that much money to bring inflation down, you injected 16.7 billion cedis to bring it for 23. Look at the difference, Peter. Look at the difference. From 23 to 3 point, you injected 17.7 cedis. Just to I don't know more friend sterilization.
Sterilization.
16.7 billion cedis.
Billion
cedis to bring in for inflation from 23. Peter, to bring inflation from 23% to 3.2%. That time at the end of the year, now I think it was even 3.5%. Why not manage the economy this year? Look at the difference. I'll be far from 54% in 2 years old, or about 30 percentage points, 31%. And I will inject that money. Messi economy is very opportunity cost. MPB did not inject that much money to bring the inflation down to the level NDC met it. It did not inject that money to bring the inflation, the CD for the CD to appreciate. If you had invested all this money in the economy, naturally inflation would have come down naturally and other sectors will benefit.
Definitely.
What you have done with this expenditure, they say. So why you see Fiscal way to reduce imported inflation? Yes, sir. What you have done, you have reduced imported inflation, but you have given the money to foreigners. Yes, the foreign companies,
taking away the purchasing power.
Exactly, of Ghanaians. And now you're also killing your local manufacturing industry, because what you have done, obitimi manufacture producer, because only a cost of production cost for no. If you have one bag of rice, maybe the same quality from imported one. Because imported one my inflation not reduced to the level and in the Ghanaian market, no price be low.
Yes, now we come averages, now I say 2 billion.
Yes,
estimated by almost 1.7.
And now 10 billion, over 10 billion, they buy 4.25.
It was saying 10 billion, it's like 8.5.
That is before they manage the economy. It's stronger than appetite.
If the trajectory
say the 2 billion ASA, I said the 10 billion, it will be 8.5.
Calculation.
Yes.
Common. So you have reduced imported inflation. That's why the inflation. But what you have done, conversely, is say you are killing your local production, local industry. Remember said that is why. Locally produced,
you are killing employment, empowerment,
and you are giving employment to foreign companies. So now, produce goods. No, so that is why we also produce 24-hour economy 133. 133. You cannot do it because we are buying no companies.
There's no incentive.
In fact, no.
What booking? So, team master. And then Yanko, go on, Minia.
If you ask one, say, oh, my mere would not say also what that, and you may rebel.
Combat doom,
Uncle for your Modian. Just the send from other people's mother's pot. A Bɛkyerɛ say, oh, mammy, sign your done what that. They woo and woo. Well, no, may share every share. Sir. Artificial massage of a exchange rate NSA Sikana a Kana Bank of Ghana Abunina so the economy to what extent and I soon transfer a warrior macroeconomic indicators in a reflective or ordinary Ghanaian abrabo. To what extent? Go on. NDC any signing social contract. NDCM promises omo ye omo manifesto na ansana ye beba ha sei no mema ye remfi say no omo ka MPP de en say MPP boka sometimes they omo nka eka no a ye born 2024 no I need to mobile better to us no, but they sum it up and they jump to 2022. No more Kokoti 2022 then. Yet you were my way. So Bekaya now Danko Kufuado a pencil. Yakofa Bibi by a friend of Fiscal Responsibility Act. Yes. Limited the finance minister and they say you cannot spend beyond 5% of a budget deficit. You know, it's not allowed. Meanwhile, because of say BBC, so be a person who say, Enyakwa, 60 billion at the buyer, Uncle Shadi of Parliament. There was a suspension of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. Yes, suspended. Now, NDC4 at the Parliament will be. None of them objected to the suspension of the Fiscal Responsibility Act because Omuni said BBC. But when they come out, no more person more reported on the BOG losses now. They rather want to attribute it to incompetence. We want no money. Omuni sadi na more parliament ho. Any suspended. Any dey na si. Na NDC and kaminim say a car 9 billion now reset here about 15 billion. Say NDC a kaminim say I figure a 9 billion or reset here about they do 50.
Do saba.
Aba.
Omo show me a reset. And it's back to them.
Omo reset can.
And don't forget the cocoa for Sika. 3,600. Omo set about 2,500. And almost Ghana for you to say 2,500 extra 3,600. See about them.
What am I trying to say? Almost 2,500 no. That's 3,100. I see some of the amount for Bianca. Because idea NDC master here how to report on issues ma omuhunye Ghana for now me say when you artificially massage or exchange rate now prices of goods and services who expose you artificially when you massage the exchange rate or you artificially calibrate the exchange rate goods and services prices expose you and under MPP time near say a blue boy in a bag 1,001 1,002 and you say 400 cedis 400 cedis no nkofo nya atopo but in spite of say kakra na ekokoto na nya bia a reflect word no ne bo oni ma ya reduce price na no that should tell you say bibi enkoye between the relationship between the so called figure or inflation figure no ene ye ya brabo emfa tane ma na emfa ene ye dete o ma wemu and a more concord report to the time when he said, and some of modest a statement in a crowd if you BOG Aban. Not a brass one is a sort more publishing or more publishing. Necessary a quadrille or more.
Yeah, right. It was supposed to be at the end of
necessary a quadrille a BOG and Sana or more statement. Financial statement about the 12 bonty. Yet about the 12 bonty after the uncle could do baby. Now the spokesperson, it is your Obi Okasama BOG. Our parliament. Majority MPs. And a Kasama a BOG. No more Kasavia. Now, or more current a director of communication. No, or no, your backing vocalist. If you kind of parliament, will be no, I just so no Kasan can get. Every financial statement, no club. Now, the director of a communication, our Bank of Ghana, no club. Mobile reported loss in this one. Much that's a operational loss.
One more key.
After young Concoba minority said there be I didn't bro sir. Almost there be minority na abon. After the Madia to say there's another 19.something billion and no more the kind yi. Good there na a better say yente ha na World Bank bekache say Gold board aboka $214
million.
Yes. Who did they see? Gold board say no ma. at the initial stage in the Bank of Ghana so the says I can't day.
Speculating. That was the statement of his.
They see your Bible maybe I don't know. Ebra Nyankopon pie Garden of Eden muno. Na Adam said enyame aye obano. Obano say one.
Obana de man.
Obana de man.
Let us open what they say. What are the man?
I say Nyankopon. Hey. What's it Obana de man. And Obana to say one agodo or one in
Although I want to imagine one.
Everything on the side they answer.
I don't feel looking for
one in Yam. Ebina, Omaya no. Now yet on my ma, sir, yet you try budget the ma a state institution. Not state institution, the budget you're trying in dollars, sir. After Sassican on final operations. Say farmer no said then you as a sort of corporate Fiscal Bank of Ghana the operations. Now Obia will declare profit, but in the losses the overview posted it. Agency declare now declare profit. Won't say losses in free where a revenue any operational cost and some about the
profit or loss.
Now the baby a bucket will be unya loss now when the kokogu. Any about do her see. It's answer come for.
Yachino.
Omo key say a can 15.6. Any no clear. But we crack say 44 billion now year can. A sign no clear. In 1 year. BBNC you. But what to say? Suspend the fiscal responsibility at BBO. Now, BBNC at a renting next year it will even be more.
Another angle.
What if it won't even happen when translating to the suspension of the Fiscal Responsibility Act? When will be BSNC because at a renting BNC? So now you can say this MPP incompetence. MPP had a better explanation. They had a better reason. Or more on the first but NDC for the Mutimika
incompetent.
Mutimika, because even the figure you are trying to hide it from us.
MPP is not incompetent.
More person more hide the figure from us. It go down. Maybe I may financial guru. Na kawe nyina ya boni nyina ebesi ne. Enya bia ya ka say be man nurse for ayi car or port free. Ye yini free a sanke revenue be ko from ana meboa.
Papa.
Iti enya anko car ne we.
Ene yekubusa lawyer car no way. Hey, Prof Kiwi.
It's stronger than appetite. They made a mechanic NPP, BOG, a kind of boy during the time of NPP was a gentleman named Kassan, who stayed from 1919 to 1920 to 2021. COVID about 22, maybe 20.
It's 29. Yeah, the about March.
Even starting crying, not only a profit 21, but 22, and I started yeah. To be big as a person. I did back my phone come once and say, taxes, the government taxes are the engine. There's a lot of tax that government in ya. It was a person to person trading. Makoha, Mekotedia, I know ha, Mekwakoto, we, Mekwakoto, we had invoices this one. Some tax and it reduce you drastically. Yeah. Because we are fee. Yeah. What I say? Yeah. The government revenue dropped. Yeah. Brutally. And so the kaya. Tamane government ne eco Fiscal. Or Quaco Fiscal unye scan. He lived how many months now? ADC for every parliament and Sunday year passing. 6 months. My status of quiet. You know, MPP time and a BOG cannot boy. You are incompetent. They were not incompetent. They were the best managers for the issue. So, no man is that time. They were the best managers. Because so a normal MPP government not had to do a normal year within that period of time now. No more triangle, Omomango for the annual Femeboa, Anyaka, Omutriango for electricity, Meboa, Anyaka. And then you may be Briano, the support too, and for the Bayer Omum P, no more Yari no moon. which was also to the humanity to keep the people safe. ABC, every time a handing over power, 225 January, I did power Nesi Krumha, Aba San Yomane 2 years, 2020 Urban at 2 years.
And this about
The other way, no. As I may see, NDC about
it. I will tell you as well here. I said, the bad day here, but send me a book. I said, the essence is NDC now.
Key man, the essence is NDC about them. Now, me who government, you, baby, I make a catch up say, NDC number one is on. And then a chassis, a chassis will AFRC time. I don't know me. I'm about PNDC. I don't know me. I said no more time for to NDC. And Kofona and the womb. It is often some baby be different from no man or my other than that. Oh wow. It is incompetence in it. And the inability so omunim dear the woman. I never want a name. Ediomachi. I said so bottom and no more the name. Because of that, Obi I go through COVID. We are seeing I go through COVID. Yeah, mama phone to quite. I'm for she said them. Revenue are low. Yeah, come up with say ya mine. Almost to be hold do economy. Kanyano, neto. Isionu, never. Government salaries, confer salaries ni ya. BBS abaye bia abaye. Ye BBS yo. Atu rentem bia AC. Bank of Ghana boka. Sigana ko he. Aya management. Oh, be the 2 billion. Enya 1.7 reduction. What are the 10 billion? And a 4.7. It's a million visitors can be a favor with your audit. Near who be a scan for fire.
One of a lawyer.
Send me back. Mr. Young audit. And it's a bia. I'm the guy. I don't board. I go to autumn. Me them say is galamsey for gold in autumn.
A percentage, about 20%. Yes.
It's only the huge ones in the quadrant.
Yes.
It's and then almost gold will be almost.
I know, yeah, we are galamsey.
Galamsey gold, almost the drums here. Yeah, it's a million. I mean, I go through some calculations now. Why enough calculations were the political point in the say Ghana free NDC for that down. From the time when we are campaigning, no more can no wa keke. So the bear mobeji omadi na omatwa ba ma o. And omatwa ba ma o se mo bra mo bre. You see inflation about 3.3. And so still Sikebi anywhere on the Tobia, or watch you, or must be presumed to meet you. They say, as you will call free such a scrap, I did, and in your mother bring. It's because Uncle Fona manage economy, no, almost that damn on no buy. Don't buy so many BB on which me I had offset that down. 24-hour economy, our henny. Asempa Nabo. 24-hour economy. I was in a fact. I come for to Abasa 3. Nipa means a one shift. Nipa means a bay Juma. Don't go to Abba. You say, tell me, I could see.
Now, that's it. Look like Juma 8 hours.
8 hours go.
It's a dada, no more dada.
Mati.
Mommy. God, catch your money. Mommy.
The last part of it, almost say, what are the expectations for the bank's financial position going forward? Now, Kaya, Kwame, we are in trouble. The first point I almost as inflation continues to stabilize within the single-digit range and the policy rate normalizes further from current levels, the yields on the instrument used to absorb the CD liquidity from the banking system fall correspondingly. The cost of open market operations, which was the principal driver for the operating loss in 2025, is therefore expected to decline.
Open market loss no 16 point
19 point something billion. What I say? Sa loss no more understand they say no ko absorb scar from the banks ni bio. To mu believe say se ko ba sa ade a ene omu cost no eso be ebete. Eno je say omu bejaye o. Ti ana o say omu ja no Friday. The second point o say the cost structure that flow through the bank's account under the domestic gold purchase program has been placed under a different institutional arrangement. As reserve manager, the bank's exposure to the cost categories that arose under the prior arrangement is expected to change over future reporting periods, with the operational role of acquisition residing with the gold board under the statute now. The 9 billion and no crowd can once a share a common account debt number 44 billion. Say 9 billion on the common gold board. The next year, no, any say gold board a profit and par. And I say, oh, my lord. The last point. My member just 2 comments. 30 seconds. 0201 455 555 0201 455 555. Just 3 callers or conversation. The engagement with the government on recapitalization is ongoing. So they are hoping, say,
recapitalization of what?
See, can someone hear from finance minister at all? I bomb pie say someone has said from a to what they are and a bank in the business. This is last week's statement on my issue. Hope says can bad bank in the business. Now I took first scan.
Revenue target.
The revenue target.
Also 6.7. And over just can not just omo can no Bank of Ghana for no Ministry of Finance. Now, I say also Bank of Ghana say or support from Ministry of Finance.
Okay. Yes.
And the Ministry of Finance is also the revenue target, are falling short by 6.7.
My man pick call me, Pacho. My man interested. Me to pick his out Korea. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Godon.
Oh, would you be back at free?
Godon, I fell from now.
Pacho Manoko, Mr. Wanoko.
You, Godon, my similar say. Now, Godon, you see, 24-hour economy no more kind. Godon, mama and dada, and when you market too. Enya market asem kwa muka asem we make juma 133 into public servant, civil servant. You may be a no akuye bi anka me nsabe na de na Godon afi the market no musi. Ghana for ya kasa market ehia Costa Godon. Cape Coast South, your market mienu Kotokoro market, your Anafu market. Most also be 24-hour economy market wa ha. Na Godon edi fakadam suni. The youth are demanding for jobs. You promise them 133, and that is what their eyes are on. If you remember that I am market, please. The new sense Africa.
I'm picking next caller so at the hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Godon.
Maybe I should do the free.
I'm Sadiq, Mukafis, Cape Coast.
Cape Coast, okay, Yanko.
Godon. Somehow, I was
But you meet you. Ana akati. Okay, but me say menya next caller na. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
But you do Rebecca say free.
Mr. Hadley called to see us.
But you yanko.
Most of me
me pacho menti o me ti feedback no wa chi itu de kasa
Anthony Amiti na bo le say when you pay for academy on the budget year it's really can we can na yeah any 2 years if you want on some the one mama if my or mine on back on said you can for coming on this every man you know one come home
Pacho Mati yo me das I call next hello good morning hello good morning hello good morning
hello good morning
Pacho Manonko why
go down because I feel agree with Mr. Fusi. Hello.
Usu Pacho yetiu. Ya men TV no so yes.
Mr. Pacho Mati go down. And Kreba could pay this for that and papa because almost so much you can you could have short memory and person you could have short memory so yes sir and career mama and my dad and then you said the Ghana for and pass yeah you have your bruni after you say yes so cocoa you could do the go down yes from Mokasa pa my necessary the drone. Yes, medase pa entisi anu to se anya ko kimkosi akọ axim ene yakọ ko pepiase so ye damu na ase opinion of free ko pepiase let me pick last caller hello good morning ye die no ebesiese no nti penfa motimi frɛ nyina no ye damase Gideon me ba cho Professor Mebeloti Bodi edi birthday ene edi part of to so mame near my prof happy birthday hey parties one for you but of you there to some Professor Mebeloti Bodi edi no course nyame adoma next week ye ba the be my shese be my be 10 minutes be the motimi aka bi eti Professor Mebeloti Bodi edi the birthday ene Gido some de ma wo ho se eno enye ready afa yi ma me de no etoso e ma me yes yes Professor Mabel Utibodi we professor or psychology department University of Ghana Legon full professor na we nipa very modest person wa bia kama we role model and many people be brilliant prof be bia wo bia no ye chia ye jo so ya na tem bia wotimi etretri anti nyagopon eshaw woni wuku ye chia mu ya na abusafo nyina anti happy birthday to Professor Mabel Otibodi we professor of psychology wo chadi University of Ghana anti ye da ase but of ayi ma media no to me Master Billy ma media no to me na eti Billy so wo hye ma me happy Mother's Day ma me afieji wa Billy say ene o mam Mother's Day in advance iti Billy mame no sa eneti sa pepepe iti no yedase yanko just a minute each Mother's Day ni yanko I would am starting feel so
mame and ochina Mother's Day mame we came mame matu mahama wanola happy Mother's Day
appetite
onon tina me wo here ene nyame
yeah
me papa owu papa owu ye na me wo primary 6 primary 5 primary 6 until me mama na okita ya ono wan ko school or make sure say enyina do na 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 me tina he until me mama we wish me mama happy birthday me mama wadi 84 years na nyankopon mana ahode yes so yes
84
yes
wow
and my main wish me other mother auntie B
ono na ya stronger than Auntie B happy mama Auntie B happy Mother's Day for man of one thing na yeah wo hey nya bibi kaka intimation ma Auntie B wish you happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's it. Prof Kill, Yanko.
We the extra enano mama moda kese me wish me mama afia for sure. O say we be quiet. Happy Mother's Day. One me mama Georgina. And I'm say Madam Kwa me wish you happy Mother's Day.
Okay. Peter.
Men so say me the manu betum na akoye awufo dey na ma wish me mama eno afia. Techiwa o obuasaka police me manu awufo na
ye galamse
bebe o ye galamse
ye tu bal bel so gra tu
me bompa ese nyakopon ma na hoden na untimi class na mintimi enhwe ni ye eno se de ye no na mefrew na nyame wo ho why bra wa bre nyina me remfi me kai oboase kwabra foso abontene so ma me bra wa bre
kafra abose mo
oboase market the nickname be friend kala
kalahan
me ma me dey because of the friend ya santiwa
na ni ade
ma me abro but nyambo wo ho me remfi e be pam no me sene mo nyam kase
amen cancel
me dey ma me dey
okola dada
coming for Mother's Day we got the happy baby and we do happy Mother's Day. Now who say Omo are the most powerful.
Yes,
because Omo in the near show me that's then man in that's right. Omo the next child by breastfeeding is of me see everything and now so they say I remember the one I to me that Omo when I'm here they say the unity say the nanti say the bibia to be a giving dear no to happy Mother's Day to me na my dear mama the generations now building sakama we are sakabana ya extinct you know be dear damas
prof council me said that na menchia orobu kilo or Ponkatama so constituency haya no hwenti orobu kilo ma mencha e na lope na me fa enchia kese koma me amame Auntie B Beatrice Wahema na me hu TV so sia na me twa picture ho na se obi ka se fa misi bia se ntudi pa ntwini o na me ma me ka se bi chere o se me nyine no mo kana metie na wo nua nua ba na wo tukwan oni Ghana nti oba ne yawo me ti esi ma me si me senachi ti ni nua ba ne ba ye no oya wo si ma me fe ne fe na aba ana se bi to ya na bi wa ba ne si we ti mu fa ne nko no se na me boss wo ba ni so show me timpa ne I santi bi echi se santi bi so ye cute tum kama na wo show de santi bi echi akwati na ese Sudan da eti me show mo na echi me show se de e mi ti de fitite ti do duma kwa ba de eti ati bi abre pa ada na wo hwe mame fo na in fact me bank crimes so Reverend Dr. Address aye wa play mother figure role ya wo kwa in fact wo tika tese me fear say mame mefi no wantia me na makona jama ko bu ya kone ya tin ya kenkan bible kakra and Mrs. Margaret Ofori kozi akoso menu mame wono so play mother figure role amayi ne war movement TV nyina intino all mothers mame form fe send messages ya no yam sisi omo man se bi asema ye kende gode ya to bu kakra abu anadbudu so no mafre e ma ni nyina na meja monitor guide nyina no ye ma happy Mother's Day in advance mu ni ba ke wiase be yehu pa o ma di wa ke wiase be yehu pa e ma mu nyina happy Mother's Day in advance yes sorry so yes adwan ye wie di na ebesese no nti Gideon once again no medawase general manager
Kristo Kweku so da se chama wuntumi so da obi ase se enano ne birthday mo ba man ebeye efe Master Ebi ni Billy any Eric Muyina Moka Hunyina no. On behalf of Movement Television and then Wuntumi Multimedia, especially in Accra, happy Mother's Day in advance. Nyame admo na kakra will be afa mama me friend no. Why? Okay, Mate. And we are out of here. Enjoy the day.